Good afternoon once again. My name is Leo Quebranza, and today I want to share to you about the company profile. I remember a long time ago when I attended a seminar, I heard this speaker. He said that if you're going to enter into a business, make sure that you look into these things, important things, if you will push through. Number one is, what is this company all about? No? Number two is, are the products or services good? Number three, does it have a good return of investment or a good payback? And number four is, will it be durable? Meaning to say, will it last long? So, ever since then, I really tried my best to learn more about what company is all about, and all the more that I became amazed. The first time I attended the Success Academy, I attended it in Songisan Mountain in Boys Town in South Korea. And, when you hear our CEO speak, you can see him. He really speaks from the heart. He's sincere. He is a man of integrity, and it really changed my outlook because I'm not really fond of multi-level marketing. I'm not even a marketing guy. I'm more of a production. And when I was young, I was with my father. I helped him in the business. It was more of production and exports. But you see, what really made me change my mind is when I used the products. The products were really very, very good. As a matter of fact, it helped my wife. It helped me. I won't go through the details na lang, but it really is very beneficial. And every product that Atomy is holding or selling are top quality products. They are very, very good products that you cannot just buy in any store. If you just compare the quality, it has to be like for cosmetics to be in a boutique or a specialty store, because really it's very, very good. Now, Atomy had a humble beginning. I remember our CEO saying, he was telling the people, you will be driving luxurious cars, and yet when you look at the car he's driving, or the vehicle he's driving a rundown van. Then he said that you will earn big and you'll live luxurious lives, and yet there he was also struggling, and he was able to give only a little donation to place that where he wanted to give, because the real truth is Atomy started small. I said started small because Atomy has grown big. Why? Well, number one, I believe because of the company's integrity, because it lives with its principle when it said what it wants is customer success. Atomy wants every customer to be successful. It's probably something that you've heard with other groups that they say now, our people is very important, like this, like that, you are important for us. But it is only Atomy that I have seen that really puts that into practice. As a matter of fact, I have seen how they shared to the people. Even here in the Philippines, we have what we practice our culture of sharing, meaning to say we donate to some incidents that happened that people have difficulties, and we also share to the lesser fortunate. In Korea, they were able to, if I may remember it right, they were able to give around how many millions of dollars for donation to help other people. But if you put that into a graph, Atomy has now well, not now, but in 2017 to 2019, the growth alone, that year alone, the growth of Atomy was 7 if I'm not mistaken, well, it's in the graph, you can see it now. Atomy ranks number one in domestic sales and direct selling companies. You see, according to the Fair Trade Commission, as of 2019, because Atomy is selling very good quality products and they are not expensive. The company always says our plan is Mastige. Mastige is absolute quality and absolute price. What do I mean by that? Mastige means there is no word before. If you look into Google, there is no word that will describe what Mastige is all about. But it is only a few years ago that Atomy, well, I can credit Atomy for that because it's only Atomy that I've first heard it, the word Mastige. Mastige is a combination of mass and prestige, meaning to say it's mass-produced that is intended to be purchased by the masses, so it's not expensive, but it's prestigious. If you look into prestigious products, they are always expensive, but not with Atomy. Atomy is selling very high quality products at an absolute, possibly lowest possible price. We're not saying we're cheap, but what I'm trying to say is that the price that we're offering for every product is much lower than the other products that are available in the market. I remember our CEO also saying on one of his talks, he said that when we look for products or when we discuss about products, the first thing in our mind to consider is quality. So the first thing they consider is quality. It has to be the best quality possible. And then the second thing is the price. Meaning to say, yes, it has to be low, but it cannot be low that it is bad in quality. You see, like our toothbrush. Our toothbrush is probably not very cheap. Here in the Philippines, there are cheaper non-branded toothbrush, but they are, if I may say, garbage in quality. But our toothbrush is very, very high in quality, but it is being sold lower than the average toothbrush is being sold. And the result, my dear friends, is that in 2000, when was that? 2019. Yes, in 2019, we were able to sell around 30 million toothbrush in 1 year. 30 million toothbrush, not in dollars or in pesos or in Korean won. 30 million toothbrush. Record in 1 year, that's around one toothbrush per second. No? If you count 1, 2, 3, that's one toothbrush sold per every second. That is how good our toothbrush is selling at that speed. And that is only our toothbrush. And our flagship product, Hemohim, is the #1 selling supplement in Korea for 5 consecutive years. Why? Because we are not hyping people that it is good. Hemohim is really very, very good. Started from a research of the Korean government to help aid their the people who are getting sick, and through research, funded research, they were able to come up with this product. But the government cannot do business, so some other companies tried to sell Hemohim, but they were driven by profit. So the first thing in their mind is we have to give a very high price for this because it's very good. It's prestigious. It's very important. It's very potent. So they placed a very high price for Hemohim. So ergo, the end result is only very people who are able to use the product. But when Atomy came into the picture, Atomy was able to negotiate as, if I recall it right, our CEO said, okay, can you give us this price if we can sell this much volume? And the end result is, we were able to sell more than expected. And ergo, Atomy right now has an exclusivity in selling Hemohim. And what do you call this? Atomy also was able to have more products like our Atomy Absolute Cosmetics. It is, don't you know that Atomy Cosmetics Absolute is the third best selling cosmetics in the direct selling market right now, with around 500,000, more or less 500,000 sets sold in 1 year. 500,000 sets. It has an annual sale of around 100 billion Korean won. Why? Because our Absolute cosmetic, Atomy Absolute, is very good. It really is absolute. It's very good. And for people who use cosmetics, they grow fond of it, and it was really effective for them. So they buy more and they buy more. And so that's why Absolute is selling very, very well. You see, so when you look into what Atomy is all about, Atomy is about top quality products sold at an lowest possible price, but also on the focus of turning every consumer to become successful, to be able to help every person to become successful. Of course, the company wants everyone to become successful, but it's already up to the people like us, like me, like you, who would also move forward with the company. And there's a cliche when they said you can bring the horse to the watering hole, but you can never force a horse to drink. You see, so Atomy wants every customer to be successful. In a sense, every customer can be successful because when you buy a very good product at a very low price and then benefit well from that, isn't that a form of success? Right, it is. So when you have that idea that every time you're able to make a sale and you are able to help people along the way, then your the blessing is there will be a return, no? A spiritual blessing. But Atomy is not only like that. Atomy continues to look for other products that are top quality and that can be sold at the Atomy platform. You see, Atomy is a platform. So Atomy is the only one who sells the product, and we are all what they say contractors or business people who are marketing it for Atomy and sharing the membership so that they can also buy the products from Atomy. But another good thing is there is no registration payment. No? Unlike other companies that in order to be a part of their company, you have to pay for a registration. You see, I remember even with department stores, and you want to be a frequent buyer, you have to get a card that every time you shop, you present the card. But before you can have the card, you have to pay, I think, maybe 200, 300, 400 pesos to get the card. I remember I used to have I used to have 3 from different department stores or groceries. When I buy, I earn points. But the sad thing is, one of my cards, because I don't go that much to the store, got expired and all my points were flushed down. So I got nothing from it. The others, well, we were shopping more on that, and when we were able to liquidate our points, we were asked to choose from their products that are already there in their stand, and 90% of what they were sharing are junk also. And there's another company that gives you a peso for every so many points, but still you can only spend it with their company. And you can liquidate it and spend it in that department store. You cannot even pay for a taxi with it, or you cannot even buy what do you call this? You cannot pay your electricity bills with it. But the system of Atomy is really nice because when you become a member, you don't have to pay for anything, and you just have to buy a product, any product with PV in 1 year, just once a year is the minimum requirement. Now, if you say, okay, I'll only buy once a year, but well, it's up to you. If you brush your teeth only once a year and your toothbrush will not will not spoil, then it's up to you. You can keep your membership. But you see, Atomy is also selling everyday necessary goods. Toothbrush, toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, laundry soap, dish detergent, every consumable things that is needed in your house. That's what Atomy is also selling. So, as a member right now, why will I go to another store and buy something where I can buy it, number one, cheaper with Atomy, number two, I can buy it with a return with Atomy, number three, that these products would be beneficial for me and my family. Even the laundry detergent, when I heard that Atomy had a laundry detergent, I even asked myself, even that, you're dead now. But the funny thing is, the laundry detergents are really top quality. There is no residue, and it is bio-friendly, or no, it is eco-friendly rather. It is friendly to the environment. Now, some people also said before, you're just going to get the product from another country and bring it into the Philippines. So the Philippines will just be a dumping ground. No, actually not. Atomy is very responsible. And a few years ago, I remember our CEO mentioned that it desires to have a GS. What's a GS? GS is global sourcing and global sales. They say it sources globally from every country that it is open, and then it is also sold to every country that it is open. Like for example, in Cambodia, I'm using that the peppercorn. Yes, I bought it. I had my partner from Korea ordered it, and I had it sent here because I wanted to taste, and it's really very good. Now, in the Philippines, they are also in search of other products that we can sell or export to other countries. In Taiwan, they have that sandwich flavor that is very good, and the ethereal patch, which is also soothing. So, meaning to say, Atomy is the platform where global products can meet and be exchanged and be shared. So more and more people will be able to use top quality products without paying for a very expensive price. So now we've talked about Atomy being, by the way, in 2018, Atomy was number 2 in Korea for the biggest sales in direct selling. Number 2. I won't mention any other companies, but we are number 2. So, and I think last year we were able to overtake it. We were able to overtake the number 1 company because Atomy is growing bigger and bigger. Right now, if you register somebody, you will notice that the number is already at 2 million plus. So the membership of Atomy has already reached over 2 million people all over the world. Imagine that every person will be buying. Now, the beauty also of what Atomy is trying to do is that if you are really interested in the business, your member ID would be sufficient to invite another person from any part of the globe where they are also interested. Where Atom is open, like for example, we have a friend in Australia or in in the USA, Canada, Japan. Well, see, Atomy started in Korea, but in 2010 it opened in the USA, 11 in 2011 in Japan and in Canada. Then in 2014, I think in Taiwan, 2015 in Singapore, 2016 in Cambodia, in the Philippines, and Malaysia. Then the year after was Mexico and Indonesia, Russia, and this year we are now open to China and in India and soon Vietnam, Turkey, and other countries are still coming in. So what does that mean? It only means one thing, that there's always a chance for you to expand. See, our CEO explained it. The beauty about Atomy is there's a limit to your income. That will be explained later. But I just want to share a little bit about it. The limit meaning, even if the person registered 10 years ago and is now receiving the big amount of commission, there is a limit. Why? It gives me a chance who started only a few years ago to reach that point somewhere in the near future and level up with him or her. Meaning to say, whatever they're receiving now, I could be receiving as well in the near future. And the people under me will not also be left wanting. Meaning to say, when the time comes, they will also reach the point that we will be having the same income level. That's why the good thing is there's a limit. Hindi siya unlimited na, the first one who registered is earning super, super, super big, and the ones who are starting only now are really having difficulty. See, that's the difference. Another thing I'd like to mention, by the way, is that Atomy is holding simultaneous seminars, and seminars are very, very important for you, for me, for every person who wants to be in business. And if you want to share more about Atomy, invite them to the seminar. And the beauty about today's seminar is it's online, meaning to say you could be in another part of the country or another part of the world. You just have to make time, tune in, and it's free. You can listen like what you're doing now and learn, understand more about the company. When I started, it was very difficult because the person I was talking to as a Korean is very limited in his English. So we had to call another Korean who's staying in Canada to help interpret for us. You see, right now you are listening to this seminar at a language that you are able to understand. I'm just saying it in English so that our dear friends, Filipinos who might be in Australia, in other parts of the world, may be able to listen and understand. Of course, I can speak in Tagalog or I can speak in Cebuano. But the point here is this is a better explanation that there is such a company existing right now that wants you to become successful. Atomy Company wants you to become successful. And not only you, but even friends, any person you want to bring to Atomy. Why? Because Atomy wants people to live a good life. Not because of anything. No, it's not na parang meron ka pagmamayabang na, I'm driving this kind of car. No, it's not. It is a perk. I mean, say it's a perk of life that you will be able to buy things that you need, or of course an extra, like, if you're a hobbyist, automobile hobbyist, you can buy a Mustang or whatever, Mercedes-Benz, an Audi or whatever. But if you're a simple guy, then you can just buy something more simple, and maybe your desire is to have a bigger house, and that's it. That's it. But my ultimate desire is to be able to leave something for my family. See, our life in this world is limited. There is no such thing as unlimited in this life, and everything will be left behind. And well, to my family, to my daughter, she will have to live a longer life than from here on, rather. So I'd like to do something that would not make her go through the difficulties that I went through, and the ups and downs of life financially. Of course, there will be other things that will have other problems, the ups and downs, at least financially should be more stable. How it will happen will be explained later at the company, at the marketing plan. Yes, it will be explained later at the marketing plan, but um, you can be assured that. Well, by the way, why am I saying that I am giving this to my daughter? I'm working for my daughter because Atomi's account, my account with Atomy is transferable to the third generation. Let's say if now I have a daughter and she has a son or a daughter afterwards, then it can be transferred to the third generation, and I will be assured in a grade na they won't go hungry at least. So whatever decisions they make in their life, that's another problem that they will have. But rest be assured that they will have enough to survive and even live luxuriously. Now, with regards to Atomy, going back to Atomy, Atomy has also a culture of sharing. A culture of sharing means say, Atomy just wants to be able to live with its community, surroundings, and everything. That is why Atomy opened Dreamy School, to be able to help many children, what we call this, many children who are not able to buy their own shoes for school. Atomy was able to donate food for the hungry and for the less fortunate and for the disabled, for the single mothers in Korea. They were able to have a charitable donation as well. And it really is a very beautiful, wonderful company. Now, I just wanted to say, you will never go wrong if you give Atomy a good shot. Success is desired by the company, but it's really up to you. Now, I hope and pray that you will be successful in Atomy and be able to share to other people that success that they may as well experience the goodness of what Atomy is offering. Anyway, once again, good afternoon to each and every one of you. My name is Leo Tibranza. May God bless you all.